thought it'd be nice to record myself having a mental breakdown again. Because I just decided that I was going to take a medical leave of absence from my job because I can't function properly. And it's not that I can't function properly, it's that I feel like I'm living in this freaking Twilight Zone. Like, everything that I see as an issue, nobody sees as an issue. I feel like nobody's willing to accommodate. I feel like, which is fine. I get it. The world doesn't revolve around me. I'm not saying that it has to. But I'm saying, if I'm telling you that I feel like I need extra support, or I have support needs, and you're always dismissing it like, oh, like, it's not a big deal, it's not like I'm overreacting, everything that has to do with me is just a big overreaction and a big misunderstanding. It's just like, over time, hold on, let me hold this differently. Over time, getting told that you're overreacting, it gets so frustrating. It's like I've been having the exact same issues for years, and it's like I come to the conclusion, like, yeah, I think I'm having these issues because of this glaring big thing. And nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. Nobody will listen to you. It costs so much just so you can be seen and heard. It's like, what is the point? Like, I'm tired of people gaslighting me into, oh, well, you know. And I get it. Jobs don't care. Jobs, they want you to come do the job and go home. They don't care if you have problems outside of the job. And it doesn't matter how much they say that they care. They genuinely don't. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing what it is they feel like you need to do and you're not making them money, you're just a number. So it's hard to be in a world where you know you're treated as just a number. On top of it, you're black and you're a woman, so you're already at the bottom of the totem pole. And people like to lie and say, oh, we don't treat black people like this, and we don't do this, and we don't do that. Riddle me this. Why is everybody in HR is always either white or Mexican? They only hire white people and they only hire Mexican people. And to be honest, I don't even feel like sometimes they want Mexican people in HR. They just do it because most of the employees speak Spanish. So it's like, if majority of our employees speak Spanish, they put y'all in lead positions because they want you, like, because you're bilingual, because you speak Spanish and you speak fluent English, so you can talk to them and you can talk to your coworkers. That's the only reason. I hate when people get in positions of authority and they think that because they have that position, they get to talk down to everybody and treat everybody else like they're less than. And it's like, you only have that position because you speak fluent English and Spanish. Which, guess what? I'm not too far from it. So it's like, and then I'm so tired of I'm so tired of constantly being perceived as angry and combative when I'm pointing out the things that people act like aren't happening. Like, it is extremely bothersome to me. It is extremely bothersome when I'm watching you mistreat somebody, or when you know that you're mistreating somebody, when you know you're not being fair, when you know things are being done intentionally, and they still act like, oh, it's not an issue. Why? It's not an issue because you deem me as the bottom of the totem pole. So if I bring it up, I'm causing issues. I'm starting problems. I'm the source of all of the issues when the issues existed before I even got here. That's why you can't hold anybody in this position. That's why you're holding hiring events and just automatically hiring anybody who walks in, because you can't hold people for this position. And you can't hold people for this position because you have a bunch of bullies who work in this position, who are intentionally doing stuff, who are intentionally trying to get people written up, and y'all just go along with it. And you write the people up that they want written up, and when they talk down on people, y'all are A-okay with it. And it's frustrating to me, because literally everybody in my department is Mexican. Everybody except me is Mexican. They're trying to say it's not a race thing, that it's not a race issue, that it's just me, right? If it's not a race issue, then how come when there's a girl who got hired on a few days after I got hired on, who is also Mexican. How come y'all have no problems with her? I've heard nothing wrong with her. Nobody's criticizing her. Nobody's nitpicking her. Nobody's micromanaging her. Nobody's talking to her like she's an idiot or like she's a child. But y'all want to do that to me every single day. And then I ask for simple things. I ask for little things like, hey, can you guys adjust this? Hey, can you adjust that? And I'm problematic. I'm the problem. I'm the issue. I'm doing too much. It's like, bro, like, I'm just irritated. I'm irritated because it's like, it's a lose-lose situation for me. It's like I'm already struggling with my mental health. I'm already telling people, hey, like, I think I might be autistic, and these are all the reasons why. I'm going to a psychologist to try to get a diagnosis, because they say women are underdiagnosed with autism, overdiagnosed, and misdiagnosed with a lot of other things. I've been being diagnosed with shit, not to curse, but hey, I did. I've been being diagnosed with stuff since I was 16 years old. Been in and out of mental hospitals since I was 16 years old. Struggling to figure out what's wrong. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why I can't function properly. I don't understand, getting out on my own. Can't hold a job. I've had over 50 jobs in my life. Over 50. I don't even know exactly how many I've had. That's how many I've had. I've lived in many different states. They thought, oh, she's manic because she's driving to different states and doing this and doing that. And who knew that manic episodes for bipolar people can look like autistic meltdowns for autistic people? It's like, it doesn't matter what I say. And then it's crazy because people keep, oh, you're bipolar, you're bipolar, you're bipolar. I keep telling them, I don't think I'm bipolar. I'm positive in my mind I'm not bipolar. That's why I keep saying I don't think I'm bipolar. I know that something's wrong. I know that something's off. But what everybody says it is, I don't think it's that. Because I was the one taking the bipolar medication. I was taking it for almost a year, and nothing was changing. I was still having the same mental breakdowns, still having the same issues, still going through the same stuff I'm going through right now. And it's just so crazy to me how everybody else knows my brain better than me. Everybody else can tell me, oh, this is what you're going through, and you just need to take your medication and you'll be all right. I took the medication. Do you need me to go down a list of all the medication I took? I was taking lamotrigine for mood. I was taking gabapentin for anxiety. I was taking sertraline for depression. I was taking, what else? Prazosin for PTSD, which a lot of people who are autistic have CPTSD. What else was I taking? I took, what is it? I think Seroquel, Lamictal, whatever, Seroquel, same thing. And I'm pretty sure I took that for mood. What else did I take? The one that was giving me the really bad heart palpitations, that most people take for bipolar disorder. Because they're trying to say I have bipolar 1 with psychosis. Y'all keep trying to say bipolar 1 with psychosis, bro. Where's the psychosis? The psychosis is me being spiritual. The psychosis is me believing in God. So I'm obviously, my faith means nothing to anybody in the medical field, mental health field. That's fine. You don't have to believe in the same things I believe in. Does it make me crazy? No. If that's the case, all Christians are just experiencing a case of mass hysteria. And we all believe in a God that everybody hates for no reason. And I'm just making it up. And we're all just seeing stuff. And we're all just having these experiences that brought us to God out of nowhere. And having Judgment Day visions and stuff like that. And just because we want to and we think it's cute. Even though we were living our lives the way that we wanted to live them. And everything was smooth before then. Like, make it make sense. I'm just tired. I'm tired of overly explaining myself to people. I'm tired of feeling like people don't get me, which is fine. You don't have to get me. I don't want you to get me. I'm not asking you to get me. You don't have to get anything that I'm going through. Frankly, I don't care. It's just like, I'm tired of this label being placed on me as if I'm difficult or I'm a problem or I'm wrong. And it's like, we can both be right at the same time. You can experience life through your lens, and you can experience the stuff that you experience without belittling and demeaning what I'm experiencing. You don't have to understand it, but just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not valid. And I'm tired of people acting like autism isn't underdiagnosed in Black people, but also underdiagnosed in women. So now I'm crazy because I think I'm autistic, and that I may be experiencing autistic meltdowns and autistic rage and all the stuff that comes with autism. And one thing I hate is when I'm not mad, but I'm being told that I'm mad. I'm mad right now. Yes, I'm actually mad right now. I'm mad because I'm tired of going through the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I can't come to an understanding. I'm tired because I've been kicked out of people's homes because they think I'm not trying and they think I'm lazy. I've been kicked out of people's homes because they think I'm not trying and they think I'm lazy. And because I was asking questions that I genuinely wanted to know the answer to. I'm probably gonna have to cut this off because I'm by the street and it's kind of loud, but I'm asking them questions about a romantic relationship that I'm in, because I'm confused, because I'm not understanding why certain things are happening and why I'm being gaslit and why everybody else is just like acting like nothing is happening. And I'm pointing out what's going on and I'm asking if it's normal, and people are looking at me like I'm asking stupid questions because I genuinely don't understand, but they just think I'm stupid. I'm tired of being infantilized. I'm tired of being talked to and about like I'm an idiot. I'm tired of people talking to me and saying really mean things to me and not fully understanding until later that they were being really mean to me. And I just used to spend all this time just thinking, oh, you're naive. You're just really naive. And oh, you just don't get stuff. I used to walk around calling myself slow. Oh, I'm just slow. And then I finally find something to be able to say, like, hey, this is in alignment with what you've been experiencing. This is in alignment with what you've been experiencing your whole life. I finally come to that conclusion, right? And then now I have everybody gaslighting me. Like, oh, well, you have to get an autism spectrum test. And you know the autism spectrum test can cost anywhere from $950 to $2,000. And we don't take your insurance. So it doesn't really matter because we take Blue Cross Blue Shield, but we don't take the one that you have. So you're going to have to pay out of pocket. But then you're struggling to hold a job because everybody thinks you're combative and thinks you're angry when you've never shown anything to say any of that just because you're quiet. It's like, I'm quiet at work. I don't bother nobody. I come to work and go home. So why am I being seen as combative? Because I said, oh, hey, there's a lot of things because I'm sitting here not understanding why my lead keeps coming up to me, repeating the same thing. I have a lead. She keeps coming up to me, repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, you need to break down your boxes, right? Oh, you need to yes. How many times do you have to tell me? I break down my boxes even at jobs where it's not a requirement. So the fact that you're telling me is like, and the fact that you keep telling me, it's like, why are you micromanaging me? Then I come to find out she's micromanaging me because all of the Mexicans in the back are like, oh, let's pick on her. Let's try to get her off this job. Because they've all been there for over 10 years, and apparently they do that to everybody who comes. Then I go to HR, like, hey, do you know this is a problem? Do you know that the other employees that you guys keep saying that you're struggling to keep in this area have been experiencing this, and that's why nobody will stay at this job? Oh, that's our work culture. If that's your work culture to allow people to discriminate against somebody, and not only just discriminate against somebody, but to mistreat them, to lie on them, to allow them to intentionally mess up and then blame the new person constantly, that's crazy to me. That's insane to me. And then when you come to HR about it, it's one woman. HR is one woman. It's a white woman, and she doesn't care about anything that anybody has to say because as long as her job is easy, who cares? And then I become the problem, and I become the target because I say, hey, this bothers me. And then, so I spend my days on my phone working, but with my headphones in because they allow that at this job. Even though they're not supposed to, they allow it. And I'm like, cool, that helps a lot. I put my headphones in, I work, I'm cool, whatever. I put my headphones in, I feel okay. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't mind the work. The work is really easy. It's just the people. I don't want to be around the people that I work with because they don't treat me fairly. They don't like me. They're trying to sabotage me. I'm getting written up. I'm getting written up because people are intentionally trying to sabotage me on the job. And then, even with all of that going on, the only thing that I asked, I was like, look, I believe I'm autistic. The testing is not accessible for me. The testing isn't accessible for me right now. I don't know when it will ever be accessible to me, if it is. All I know is I'm struggling. So even though I don't have paperwork, can I still get these accommodations anyway? Can I still get accommodations that I believe are very simple? Like, hey, instead of putting me on the first or second floor, can I be put on the third floor? The third floor has like an open top. There's natural lighting that comes in. But the main thing is it's significantly less sound. I feel like I've always gotten sensory overwhelm, but I'm just now starting to be like, okay, recognizing the things that overstimulate me. So I'm like, okay, I have sensory overwhelm. Here's something that maybe we can do to help with the sensory overwhelm. So the things that I came up with, I have a specific employee or coworker who talks extremely loud, obnoxiously loud, and yells, is constantly yelling and singing. To me, it's a distraction. When I'm trying to work, if you're being obnoxious, you're yelling, you're singing at the top of your lungs, it's like that makes it hard for me to be able to work. I don't understand why that's hard for other people to understand, but apparently it is. So I said, just separate me from that employee. And so it takes away the problem. I don't have to deal with sensory overload because I don't have to be near them. And they don't have to deal with me being upset and asking them to be quiet because they're yelling at the top of their lungs. Okay, there's that. That's one thing that they kind of accommodated, but not really. And then after I said it, hey, it overwhelms me. I get sensory overwhelm. Him yelling is an issue for me because it makes my workaday harder. It makes it harder for me to be here. It makes it challenging. I'm the problem. Oh, she doesn't like him. They think it's just because I don't like him. No. He was actually one of the only people who was nice to me when I first started. It's not about not liking somebody. It's about you're overstimulating me to the point where it's making me want to quit. It's making me want to say, you know what? This is too much. I can't do this. I can't handle this. Okay, so that's one. I asked to be separated from him. Two, I wanted to be able to wear noise reduction. I wanted to be, oh my gosh. I wanted to be able to wear noise reduction headphones. The reason I wanted to be able to wear noise reduction headphones is because it is loud. It is extremely loud in the warehouse on the first and second floors. I don't like being on the first floor because you can hear every forklift. Every time somebody's beeping, it's loud. It startles me because I startle easily. It's another form for me of sensory overwhelm. So that's so annoying. Anyway, it's another form of sensory overwhelm for me. So I'm like, hey, I don't, if I could wear noise canceling headphones, I feel like that would be helpful. Well, you don't have an ADA accommodation for that. So if you don't have an ADA accommodation for that, then we're not sure that you actually need it. Okay. Can I wear sunglasses? I know that sounds crazy to other people, but there are LED lights. One thing I hate is LED lights. I worked at Walmart for a while. I hated working at Walmart because they have those bright white LED lights. And it's not just that they're bright, they flicker. I don't know how to describe it. And I don't know if you also notice, but I hear the buzzing in the electricity. Like the little low hum of the lights. I can't stand that sound. I can't stand the sound. I can't stand the flickering lights. They have flickering lights everywhere in this building. So my solution to that was like, I can wear sunglasses and noise canceling headphones. Simple things. They don't even have to come out of pocket for it. I'll come out of pocket for it. I just need, like, I'm telling them, like, I'm struggling. I'm getting written up. Because at this point, it's like, it feels like, oh, we didn't know you were going to be this much of a problem. We didn't know you were going to appear disabled. We didn't know, like, you don't look like you have any issues. So when we hired you, we didn't expect to have any issues out of you. And now we're having a whole slew of issues. And you basically cost too much to employ. And what you're asking for is too much. And we don't want to have to deal with it. Okay. Like, but would you say that same thing to somebody if they were in a wheelchair? That's funny. I just saw 555. Some people say that's pattern recognition and like number sequences and all that stuff. It's not to me. To me, it's prophetic, which is God's abundant grace. That's what 555 means. Which, hey, if you wanted to go that route, you wanted to take things like way too literally, that could actually be a symptom of autism. Pattern recognition and number sequences. They say some people have a thing for dates. That's some of the questions that they ask you when you take the autism assessments. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me how I spent my whole life even like repeating the same stories over and over and over again. I know my brother, I don't talk to my brother anymore, but I know that he's probably like, dang, she done told me this thing like 82 million times. And it's the 18,000 times she's told me. I'm sick of hearing it. Yeah, that's a symptom of autism. It's like all of the stuff that has been going along my entire life, and I just thought, oh, maybe I'm just a bad person. Maybe I just suck at these things. And maybe I'm just not, like, whatever. Maybe I'm just not good at life. Maybe I just need to whatever, figure it out. I don't know. It seems like I'm struggling. Even when I got on my feet, I was constantly worried, constantly struggling, constantly needing help. And then I find out, and I didn't even find out like that. Somebody asked me. I had a friend, her mom works with children. She asked me, are you autistic? And I was kind of like, what? Out of nowhere. I'm like, what? And I was like, no. And then went over her house. I spent Christmas with her and her family. And then her mom asked, are you autistic? No. That's the first time I ever heard of autism. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'm not diagnosed with that. No. Like, no. And then I forget about it. I'm like, whatever. Keep going on with my life. Cause whatever. Like, I just went on with my life, whatever. And then I'm on TikTok one day. And I start seeing like girls talking about autism and how it's underdiagnosed in women. And then they start doing all the little symptom things like, oh, these are the symptoms. And then, like me, I'm a researcher. Don't know why, don't ask. But I've always researched stuff. So when I was hearing some of the symptoms, when I was hearing some of the symptoms, I was like, this actually really sounds like me. Which is crazy because I'm looking to see when to cross the street. Anyway, what was I saying? 27. Anyway, when I was, dang, what was I gonna say? All I remember is my friend and her mom both asked me if I was autistic at two different points in time. I went on TikTok. I happened to see a bunch of girls talking about autism and how it appears on women. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I used to think when they diagnosed me with bipolar disorder, I was like, I don't think I'm bipolar. I think I have ADHD. Because I had a lot of ADHD symptoms. But even ADHD didn't fit all the way. Because I'm like, well, that even if I did have ADHD, it doesn't explain all of this other stuff that I'm still struggling with. Autism was the only thing that hit the nail on the head. It was the only thing that made complete sense. And then I started thinking, when I was a kid, I used to line my toys up. Like, I used to have a bunch of stuffed animals. I used to line them up in a specific way on the bed. I used to organize them from tall to small. I used to organize them. I used to, when I have books, I organize them by the way that they look. I used to color coordinate my closet. And then I started thinking, I started watching somebody with autism. Because when I was younger, like, I don't know. When I was younger, I used to think I had OCD real bad. Because I was like, some of the things that I do, the impulses that I have are very, like, particular, and it's almost like, I don't know. And I still show tendencies of that. Do you know, I found a girl on YouTube, The Thought Spot, shout out to her, and she was talking about how you can have autism, or you can have OCD that is associated with autism. And it's probably from being hyper criticized. You know, when somebody's like, you don't act normal, and then they hyper criticize you and pick at everything that you do, especially as a black woman, to make you look as normal as possible, but you never be normal because you're just not. And all the nitpicking turns into OCD, because it's like, okay, my mom was very hard on me. I used to say that all the time. I used to feel like my mom was so hard on me. And sometimes I feel like she nitpicked me to the point where I felt like I had to be perfect. So now I do have a lot of compulsions and things that I do that some people see and they're like, oh, that's not normal. So my psychologist is trying to diagnose me with OCD, but I guess she can't also diagnose me with autism because I have to take the autism assessment, and I don't have, it's not accessible for me right now. So it's just crazy how, like, it's just crazy to me how, like, things that I struggle with that are like, okay, thank you, okay, might as well go. I got the walking man. Anyway, it's just crazy to me how, like, things that are supposed to be like normal for me, things that I thought I was just bad at, that I was just not a good person, that I just sucked at all of everything, and I was just like a terrible individual, and my family doesn't want to hang around me, and people hate me, and I don't know why, and I don't know why I think like this, and I wish I was like more like that, and and then you can look at all the symptoms and be like, oh well, everything that you do and everything that you've been doing since you were a kid falls in line with autism. But hey, we're just gonna keep you as bipolar because we just want to believe that you're emotionally unstable, which, you know, emotional dysregulation is a thing that you could also associate with autism. But everything that can be explained in my life by autism doesn't matter because some doctor who met me one night after I didn't sleep for 3 days straight says I had psychosis and I was panicking and freaking out and I'm automatically bipolar because of it, who only met me 40 minutes in total over the span of 12 days, knows me better than I know myself, who is an Indian doctor who upped my medication, an Indian male doctor, I should say, who's upping my medication every single time I said that God talks to me. Like, that's not normal because even though that's my faith, says that I'm bipolar. And then everywhere that I went after that, they get the diagnosis, they just co-sign it. Even if I'm going, like, I was going for second, third, and fourth opinions. And they ask me what the diagnosis was that I got already. And then they just look for evidence based on that diagnosis. But I'm the crazy one. I'm crazy. Maybe it just makes a little too much sense to me that some people don't want to do their jobs. Maybe it just makes a little bit too much sense to me that two things can be true at once. Maybe my logic just makes too much sense. But hey, I'm bipolar and I'm crazy. Let them tell it. I'm bipolar, and that's not to come at anybody who's who's bipolar and to say that you're crazy or whatever. No. It's just to say that I'm frustrated because that's what I've been called. That's what people have said to me. That's how people have treated me, because they deem me something that I don't deem myself. And it's frustrating. Okay. So this was a nice rant. This was a nice 40-minute rant that I had to go on. And I'm going in Walmart because I'm cold. And I'm going to... Good morning.
Walmart pharmacies tested treat service in mind when life gets busy. Whether it's the flu, strep throat, or COVID-19, our pharmacy staff can test and prescribe treatment.
Yeah, so I'm going to get warm in Walmart, and then I think I'm going to start an autism YouTube channel for women who look like me, because I'm tired of fighting and struggling and being told that what I believe is not true or valid or what it is thought to be. And I have been sitting here for days and weeks thinking about it and just being like, well, what if I'm wrong? Well, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? And the crazy thing to me is, like, even if I was wrong, I don't think I am wrong. Even if I was wrong, it's still the only thing that explains my entire life and my experiences that I've had throughout my life. And I don't think that my experiences and my life story and the interviews that I've watched with Amanda Seales and when I watch Fern Brady and Orion, the autistic guy, and the Thought Spot and Mom on the Spectrum, like, if I can relate so heavily to all of that and still be wrong and still just be making it up, then I'll take that. But I don't believe that's what it is. If I have to fight by myself for my own sanity, then I will. And I will self-diagnose, which I didn't want to do because I wanted to have evidence before I went ahead with this. But as you can see, I can't hold a freaking job. So even the easy jobs, I can't hold. And I look like I'm keeping it together. I don't even think I look like it at this point. But like, this is what's happening. And I just need support. And I need community, and I need a safe space, and I think other women like me also need a safe space. And so, yeah, whatever.